credit help, go to www.fixmycreditandcash.com, right? And if you want to increase your income, right, or increase your cash flow, the last live stream I did was Sunday. I see something down. Was Sunday, and the testimonial was that my business partner that enrolled with the business with me increased their income out of their paycheck without working overtime, without getting a promotion. Only thing they did was leverage the strategies and get the loopholes of the rich, right? By adding business exemption. So you have something on your paycheck or on your W-4 that states exemptions and deductions. And what people don't understand is when you are just an employee, right? Because America is not a country, people, it's a corporation. And right now we are a corporation with a large debt that has to be repaid. So how do you think America repays its debt off? Through working people, the working class, not through business owners, right? The tax laws in America is different for business owners, right, than employees. It's the law of the land. So when people think that the advice of get two jobs, right, you are taxed as two people. So you will never get ahead with two jobs. You will never get ahead with two jobs. And also when people do not have the financial education that they need to leverage debt, but yet they make bad investing choices with their credit and with their debt versus using credit and debt to purchase assets. Assets are simply defined as things that will make you money, right? Things that will make you money versus liabilities. Liabilities are things that will take away your money, right? Take away your money. Rodney says, sister, forget explaining yourself. This is my platform. You're right. This is my live stream. If they can't wait until I get into the topic, you're absolutely right, Rodney. On Facebook, they can simply move on, right? Because it's like having spectators that's attending let's say The Price is Right, right? A live show, spectators in The Price is Right, telling the producers or telling the host of The Price is Right how they should conduct their show, right? You are a spectator for a reason. You don't have a mic to hear your voice for a reason. So if you don't like the way someone's show or live stream is conducted, the simple solution is to do what? Build your own, right? Build your own. So Jesus says King James is in the house. Thanks for bringing the trophy back to LA. And you all make sure you like and share this on YouTube. Let's get more people in the credit and cash flow room. Hello, Madden Champ. Hello, AR. Hello, AR. Coming in as well. So let's get into the topic right now. How can you determine, right, if you are being overcharged for credit repair? How can you determine if the fees that were assessed to you or quoted to you is reasonable, right? I haven't dealt with Lexington law in years, so I have no clue how Lexington law works. Haven't had to, but I did, right? I did at one time when I was married. My ex-husband and I were in the process of getting his credit up to par, getting repaired, getting a higher credit score so we could invest in a house, right? And we went with Lexington Law. We went with Lexington Law and stayed with them for probably about 7 months. This was, a long time ago, some years ago, and stayed with them for about 7 months and did not see any changes or improvement in his credit repair process, right? Could not get inquiries removed, and he didn't have anything major like bankruptcy, but maybe he had a repossession, from a vehicle and could not get that major account removed as well. So then is when I took the time out to learn the credit repair game and to get us, because I wanted a house desperately, right? We was in an apartment. I got tired of hearing noises on the side of me, on the top of me, the bottom of us. I got tired of bringing groceries up the stairs, right? I wanted a house, and I believe that we could get a house monthly payment for the same amount that we were renting or paying in rent at that time, right? So I decided to take that task on myself, and it's the best decision I ever made because he was my first. I'm recently divorced, well, 3 years divorced, but the first client that I got to learn the credit game, right? So it wasn't for that experience, I would not be able to help others and be in the position that I am in today. Thank you so much, Queen Gwen Armstrong on YouTube for the $10 super chat. Thank you supporting the channel and the knowledge, right? And so this is the reason. Yeah, you're the one that told me about Lexington Law, Madam Champ. I think you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Lexington Law, is it about $179 a month, monthly, in addition to interest, which I didn't understand the interest, right, part of it. I couldn't understand what interest were they charging. I didn't understand how you can, charge interest. Maybe some additional monthly fees, but I didn't understand how you can charge interest on credit repair or restoration, right? So usually, I will say this, any month-to-month credit repair program that you go through will, on average, take at least 10 to 11 months before you begin to see minor results, right? And you often hear them say things like, you have to be patient. It took you years to build this bad credit, right? You should expect it, at least you should be able to wait a year or two to get it restored. Now, I agree with that in this situation, right? That if you have a bankruptcy, which is scheduled, if it's Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is scheduled to be reported on your credit report for 10 years. Bankruptcy is a major, right, reporting on your credit report. Student loans, right, bankruptcy, and then I would think that ranks right under bankruptcy is student loans, right? However, student loans is not a big deal for me or issue, but bankruptcies are, right? If I take on a client who has bankruptcy on their credit report, I tell their client upright to expect at least 1 year, right, for that bankruptcy removal. Now, it can be, I've gotten bankruptcies, and I'm being honest, in 30 and 60 days. But bankruptcies that are recent, meaning within that 2-year window, because any accounts within a 2-year window have the most damage on your credit report. So any bankruptcy, usually within the 2-year window, will take longer to dispute, right? Will take longer to dispute. However, I got them off quicker, and 30, 60 days, but those have been the older bankruptcies, right? Let's be transparent and honest, meaning 3 years or older, right? So, okay, let's allow 170. They added it to 170 overall, 210 a month. Ernest says Lexington Law has charged me 180. Wow, Ernest, since 2018, 180 a month since 2018, and his score is still at 500. Ernest, if I were you, that's 180 a month for 2 years. So Zeus, is you my math person. Zeus, give me 180 times 24. Let me know what Ernest has invested in. Ernest, I would really invest in a credit consultation with me. That's at 125. It's a one-time 125. And I looked at a credit score today, like 479. I have a client. And you know what? That client had, I think, 1 or 2 charge-offs and a medical collection, and I think 1 or maybe 2 regular collections, which is non-medical. And they were only at a 479 because they had 4 or 5 damaging reporting on their credit report. And they had a very thin credit profile, which means they also did not have any positive reporting, right? So it could be many factors why you have a credit score. You do know your lowest credit score is a 350, right? So I did a 479 today, and they had about 5, I know, a charge off, a medical collection, and maybe 2 non-medical collections reported. But other than that, they just did not have enough positive reporting, right? And I tell people all the time, good evening, everyone coming in. Good evening, good evening. I'm highlighting you. I might not stop my train of thought of what I'm saying, but just know if I highlight you, I see it, and I'm sending you some digital hello. And so that's 4,000. Thank you, all my mathematicians. $4,320 that he invested, right? $4,320 for 2 years, a month to month, through Lexington Law at $180 a month, right? And there's not adding in any more additional fees that they may have charged them over the time and over the years. And so that's why I always tell people or inform people, right, that if your credit, if you can get in a 30 and 60-day time frame, you should definitely see deletions within 30 days, right? And I'm not stating, you should see some type of deletions. When people enroll with me, the first thing I do is start with them with Experian. They're going to see deletion in 3 to 5 days. And I'm not saying negative accounts, but just things that I do to start the dispute process, get it rolling, and get cleaning up their credit so we can start getting the larger accounts. They see that within 3 to 5 business days, right? So you can clean up their personal information profile so they can begin to get the larger damaging accounts done on their credit report. So 3 to 5 days of going ahead, making that payment, and getting started, right? And so a lot of times you want to ask yourself, if smaller month-to-month payments that takes a longer process, a better investment, right? So we have a person that's paying month to month, but over time it has equal to $4,320, right? Right. Thank you so much, Carol and Ernest. If you want to invest in that credit analysis again, my website is www.fixmycreditandcash.com. At least invest in that credit analysis to see where you stand, right? To see where you stand, see what's going on and why you haven't had much progress in a 2-year time frame. So thank you all who are my clients, right? Okay, Ernest, I'll be glad to help you. Be glad to help you. Thank you for supporting and letting him know that he's with the right person as it relates to his credit issues. Okay, I got you. So how to know that you are being overcharged, right, for credit? What's a good way to analyze where you are, what you should be investing in financially, and if you're making a good investment to improve your credit so that you won't be overpaying the banks, right? You won't be paying high interest. This is my rule of thumb, people. And I made this post and I came to this conclusion today because someone tagged me in a Facebook post. Someone was reaching out, seeking credit consultation or credit repair help. Now, please note, I do not do credit consulting through any MLM or network marketing, right? I do not do credit consulting through any MLM or network marketing. This is my business, CNC Consulting, right? And my intellectual knowledge and years of experience and number of people that I helped over the years. So Edgar says, modern day Harriet Tubman of credit. She's trying to lead people to freedom. Thank you so much, Edgar. What a great compliment. I appreciate that. Just like Harriet said, I could lead more. I could have freed or led more slaves to freedom only if they knew that they were slaves, right? So now, this is my rule of thumb. And I'm not telling you this is what my fees are, or this is what my quote will be, right? I don't give the same quote to the same person because everyone's credit is not the same. So why would two people say to pay the same price for different services, right? Different services. So, but if I wanted to charge, right, I could charge on this scale, which is called value-based pricing. So whether you're watching this live on the replay, I want you to hashtag value-based pricing. Whether you're on Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, live watching this on the replay, hashtag value-based pricing, right? Value-based pricing. SM3 Horsey says paid and sign up for credit consultation. Queen, email title urgent. Give me your email because I'm pretty sure it may be different than your profile. So let's discuss value-based pricing, right? Value-based pricing. Someone asked me, how much is a good price you think for 2 collections? 1,000, 3,100, 4,100. I think all of those prices are too high for 2 collections. But just know collections are not the same, right? You know, you can treat things equal in business, but it won't always be fair, right? What I mean by that is, right, you may have a collection, for example, with Midland Funding or Portfolio Recover. Why do I say those 2 collections? Because those 2 collections are the most dominant and collections that can be on a credit report. They are the biggest collection firms across the United States. Midland Funding, Portfolio Recovery. I often see LV Envy Funding a lot. And then you have people that have medical collections, right? Medical collections. Now, with the price, and you all let me know, yes or no, whether you are watching live on the replay, or do you think, in your opinion, should the price for a medical collection at $20,000, for example, be the same for, let's say, a Portfolio Recovery or Midland Funding collection for $6,000, right? Yes or no, I'm giving you all opportunity to answer that question. I'm going to rephrase it. Do you think, right, that a medical collection at $20,000 should be the same price to get deleted off a credit report for a non-medical collection? Let's say it's LVNV. Let's say it's Portfolio Recovery. Let's say it's Midland Funding. Let's just say it's your cable bill, right? You didn't pay that cable bill, right? Do you think that a professional should charge a client that has a $20,000 medical collection or $10,000 the same price for a non-medical collection for $5,000? We're talking about value-based pricing, right? Value-based pricing. I have some people saying no, no. And this is what people don't understand. Now, I do not do my credit analysis like this, but if I did, this is what it would look like, right? This is what it would look like. If I, for example, looked at a credit profile and this person had, let's say, $30,000 of bad debt, Report on their credit. And when I mean bad debt, I may be speaking of a $6,000 collection, right? $10,000 Amex charge off, a $5,000 Bank of America charge off, a $7,500 Capital One, right? And let's say that all of these charge offs and collections and bad accounts total to $30,000. A bad debt in account that needed to be erased or eradicated in order to help this person get on the road to good credit. So I decided that I would be generous, right? And let's do like they do in the church and go by the 10% rule, right? Because a lot of people can relate to the 10% rule because of the tithing concept in many churches, right? Right. Jesus says a $20,000 health bill is more than a $5,000 consumer bill, right? Eyes Joanna says no, because maybe it would take longer to fight the $20,000 medical bill. Now, all of the bills, no matter what their balances, causes the same equal amount of stress. That's why I stated earlier, right, that treating things or people equal will not always equivalent to being fair, right? Because people are different skill levels in life, different intellectual levels. So you can treat people equal with the same respect, but they don't always get treated fair, right? Because if I have a higher skill level than you, then coach is going to treat me a little different because then this player or person with a lower skill level, if I've been doing something, let's relate this to sports, right? I also coach girls basketball. So if I have a more skilled player that comes to me that have been playing basketball for 5 years, let's say she started when she was 6 or 7 years old, and then I have a player that had just started playing at 12, right, that has less experience and less skill level, I can treat them equal as people, but they will not be treated fair because my player that has the most skill and the most experiences, because of whatever the situation, maybe her parents invested in her to be better and to have more time and skill and talent in the area, but they would not look at that as fair. I might give player one with the more experience and skill 50 shots a game, and player two would get 5. Right. So you can't treat all things and it works that way. As it works in basketball, it works in business. However, Nidra says, consider that people with non-medical insurance are billed higher those with non-medical insurance are billed higher those with insurance. Right. Jesus says Terrell Owens is a good answer. SM3 Horses says the same with how employees are treated. Higher skills receive more money to pay the bills. Right. Higher skills get more money to pay the bills. It's point blank. So if I really conducted my credit analysis, and that's why I put in this caption, pay like you weigh. And I just decided, okay, this, for example, person has a $19,000 repossession. 10% of that will be $1,900. However, $1,900, multiply that by 3, because it just does not have to get disputed and deleted from one account. In many cases, it's 3 accounts because you have 3 credit agencies: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Right. So if that one repossession charged at 10% was $1,900, would be $5,700 to dispute and delete from 3 credit agencies. And the reason why Okay, Jesus says need 25 more people to hit that thumbs up on YouTube. So you all, and also get accustomed to the law of reciprocity and prosperity. The law of reciprocity and prosperity goes like this. In order to receive, you should give, right? In order to receive, you should give, right? You should give an action. Remember, the Bible is the #1 book on banking. When the man sat at the pool of Bethesda for years, Bethesda, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, Bethesda, and Jesus came across the scene and he said, hey, I've sat here for years. I try to get in the pool when the angel comes at a certain season, but people always beat me to the pool to get healed. And I have no one to help me. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, my God, if you've been poolside for years, every day you can scoot a little closer to the water. And when that season comes, that angel comes, right? You should be so close to that water, and you because you camp out, overnight, that you should help yourself to your healing. But a lot of people don't think like that, right? A lot of people don't think like that. And people don't think like that stay in a non-healthy situation for years because they always expect things of others, or they're always thinking in a selfish or greedy, right, mindset. They always think about them and not other people. And they always think about the actions of others and not themselves, right? However, in order for him to receive his healing, he had to take action. And the only action that I ask people to do for knowledge and information, or just to reframe or reshape your mindset, is to hit the like button and to share. And then once this knowledge has helped you, to take action and invest in yourself. That's it. For my time, for my knowledge, for my experiences, for my talent, for my skills, just take time, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, get out, hit the live chat, because you will never, right, receive the highest level of prosperity if you don't practice the law of reciprocity, right? The law of giving and receiving, right? And the law of always looking at things from other people's paradigm and deciding to shift your mindset. If you shift your mindset, people, you can shift your income. You're absolutely right, Sandra. And to start holding yourself accountable. Start holding yourself accountable. So make a mind message connection and the cost of participation, right? As E. Dean Cole says, people always ask him, will you get to the point on your live stream? He said, this is the point. The point is you have access to me live. People don't understand it. When people do live stream, they can answer your questions to your problem. The whole point of the entire video of the live stream is I have access to this person, this expert in their field, who can help me in my situation. That is the point, because a lot of times people answers get answered on the live stream for no cost. You get an opportunity to have a free evaluation at no cost. So the only cost we ask is that you make a mind message connection, hit the like, show the hearts, Periscope on Instagram, Digital Love, share the broadcast with your friends and followers so they can get access to the information in the Queen of Credit as well. So if I really base everyone's pricing, right, by requiring them to pay as their way, meaning if I look at all the bad debt, could you imagine, for example, if someone got a $30,000 student loan delete off their credit report, or $50,000, or $80,000, or $200,000 student loan, and those people did not even have to pay the 10% of the debt reporting? Why is your debt to income ratio or debt ratio on your credit report. So important. Because, for example, if you have $80,000 or $100K, $100,000 in student loan debt, right? You get that debt deleted. Now you're in position to be a homeowner because now your income that you're receiving based off the debt reporting, if it's reported inaccurate. Now, this may not be the best example because when you apply for a mortgage, right, you're supposed to report legally, morally, and ethically all of your debt, whether it's showing on your credit report or not. And so that's why I tell people all the time that even though your student loan debt is deleted, does not mean you are discharged, right? Or you have been exempt or excluded from paying. Equifax and TransUnion, Experian just report your payment activity, but that is not who you are in debt to. So let's look at another example, right? You're trying to get a mortgage, trying to get approved, or you're just trying to stop paying high interest rates to the banks on bad loans. And you have thousands of dollars of collections of unpaid, unvalidated debt reporting, or you have thousands of dollars of charge off. If people were really made to really think about this from this perspective, that what if I really had to pay what I weigh, right? Now, for some people, they may have $1,000 charge off and they invested $100, which is 10%. They will look at that. That's awesome, right? If it was a lower debt, you would think that would be a great deal. Hey, I just got $900 of bad debt, right? Removed from my credit report. And when it comes to debt validation or collection validations, oftentimes the Fair Credit Reporting Act forwards that information to your debt buyers or your collection companies. And when they can't validate that debt, right, if it's disputed the correct way and challenged the correct way, it also, unlike a student loan debt, right, unlike student loan debt, it also frees you or discharge you for paying those collections accounts. Did you all know that? Whether you watch it live on the replay, that discharge you legally from paying that debt collector because the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, the FDCPA, work together under consumer laws. However, your student loans do not work like that. Unfortunately, student loans in 2008 became all federal. They were no longer private. However, when people had student loans up to 2008 that were sold to collection agencies, and now if it was sold to collections and the collection agencies were disputed, right? Because once your debt is sold, you no longer owe the original creditor or the debtor. You supposedly legally owe who the account was sold to. However, if that company or business did not purchase that account the correct way with the correct documentation, then you legally do not owe that company either. That's why they are referred to or called third parties. And so what's so great about collections and sometimes charge-offs is that once they are deleted or removed from your credit report, right, you do not legally owe in a lot of cases if it's done the correct way. Now, charge-offs are questionable only because when it relates to charge-offs, your creditors, your credit card companies, the banks have three options. They can, number one, sell the unpaid balance from the credit card to a debt collector, right? So under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, if you dispute and make them validate the debt the correct way, you could legally be free or discharged for owing that completely. Or number two, your creditors can write the unpaid balance off. Sorry, I'm looking at my nails, as bad debt. Then they would in return send you a 1099-C in the mail for you to claim that on your taxes as income. However, if you have a great tax preparer and strategist, right, there are legal loopholes in which you may not be able to claim that as income. Now, the third thing they can do, which is you don't want them to do this third thing, right, is that they can actually take you to court, file claims, summons you to court, subpoena you to court to pay the unpaid balance, right? To pay the unpaid balance. So it's much easier if it's done the first two initial ways versus the third ways, right? Edgar says you're absolutely correct. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Ed White on Periscope said he just heard that the first time last week. And this is why I do not believe in cookie cutter systems for credit repair, because everyone credit is different, right? Now, I'm going to give you all a secret about credit repair, a secret. There are some accounts, I've been doing this and seen hundreds of thousands of accounts, and that when sold as a charge-off will have the same account number, right? So for example, if I have a credit card with Capital One, and I'm going to just say Jesus is on my live stream, has a credit card with Capital One. Both of us do not pay that credit card as agreed. In 6 months, it goes into charge-off. Did you all know that that account number then becomes the same for both Jesus and I, even though when we opened the account, we had two totally different account numbers. Now, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, everything must be reporting 100% accurate, right? Verifiable and complete. So if they make all of their account numbers the same for every charge-off account, then how can it be 100% accurate, verifiable, and complete? So that's why when you get credit repair templates, cookie cutters that tell you to copy and paste and reduplicate that letter, oftentimes 9 times out of 10, you're not even disputing it from the angle or the strategy that you should be disputing it from, because at this point, your account number is unverifiable and is reporting inaccurately because we can't have the same account. So those just little credit secrets that people don't know. And it's many accounts that do this, right? Once it's transitioned to a charge out. Yeah, I know people don't know that. And so when I go live and I say, that's why I don't believe in do it yourself, and these people are selling these products, let me tell you all something. People can make thousands from helping people restore their credit. Why would they give their information to you for hundreds or pennies on a dollar? Now, you may get some things off if you have a credit profile that does not have a lot of advanced reporting, maybe 1 or 2 collections. But when it gets to the real nuts and bolts of credit repair, those letters that many thousands of people, including yourself, have mailed in, they have a system called eOscar that's so sophisticated that when it gets so many of these same letters in, it's just going to kick it out of the system and read it. And, it's going to come back verified every time. And that's why people don't get results. So I'm going to ask the 2 questions and I'm signing off because I really want to get back on my teaching of Christianity and its origins and what it from Africa. So I really want to get into that. And I have some more critical analysis and affidavits to do. Brian says, hello, Queen. Can you tell me something about bankruptcy? Brian, what do you want to know specifically about bankruptcy other than if you file a Chapter 7, it will remain on your credit report for 10 years. And I will prefer if people stop having liabilities in their bankruptcy claims. And at least if you're going to file bankruptcy, right, if you're going to have that mark on your credit report for up to 10 years, if you don't know how to dispute it and delete it, that you should at least have some assets in the game. A lot of people like to refer to President Trump has filed bankruptcy, 50 Cent has filed bankruptcy. Do you all know they filed bankruptcy to keep businesses, real estate, property, and thousands in cash? They did not file bankruptcy to keep a depreciating vehicle that's losing its value anyway, department store credit cards, and bad credit card debt. So a lot of the bankruptcies that I see, and this is why bankruptcy can take up to a year, because also it depends on how many accounts that's connected to that bankruptcy that have been discharged in bankruptcy as well, right? For example, Brian, if you filed a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you only had 3 accounts that were discharged, and someone else filed Chapter 7 and have 13, now the credit expert have to also challenge and dispute those 13 accounts that's connected or tied to the bankruptcy. So bankruptcy is not an easy battle to fight, right? Is there any hope for those who are in bankruptcy Chapter 13? What to do after it is done? Chapter 11 is business bankruptcy. Chapter 13, I think Chapter 13, it will be scheduled to remain on your credit report for 7 years. I would advise getting professional help and assistance, because bankruptcies, it's another credit secret I'm dropping. I hope you all hit the thumbs up and hit the like button with you and hit the hearts, right? Periscope and Instagram. I haven't seen any hearts on IG, but Periscope, Facebook, share this on your personal page. Another thing about bankruptcy, everything on your credit report must be verified through the original creditor or the original source of information. And so the courthouse in which you file bankruptcy, right, does not report to any other 3 credit agencies. So if I'm not receiving this reporting or account from the original source, which is the courthouse, then how can you ensure me that it's reporting 100% accurate information if you got the information from a third party? And what people don't know as well, another credit secret, is that there are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are the known credit agencies, but there are smaller credit agencies as well, right? SageScreen, I was planning on teaching this, but LexisNexis, there are smaller credit agencies. Innovis, right? This is just right off the top of my head. And so oftentimes when it comes to a bankruptcy, you don't only have to dispute and challenge the big 3. You have to dispute and challenge the smaller credit agencies, because they are the one that's reporting it, but it's never the courthouse. And this goes for any bankruptcies, whether it's dismissed or discharged. ARS, thank you. Innovis, right. So it doesn't matter if your bankruptcy is dismissed or discharged. The law states that they must report 100% accurate information from the original furnisher. That's why the same files for collections as well. And also your charge-offs. That's why I told you about charge-offs. When they restructure your account number, that's not 100% accurate information.